Good morning. It is close to 9 today, right now. Beautiful weather, just finished raining, and we are completing the Rim and Slaughterhouse Loop Trail, which is 5.5 miles and around 700-foot elevation gain. It's pretty far a ways. You have to go on a dirt road and kind of got confusing, but we ended up just fine. And
it's in the Malakoff Diggins.
In Malakoff Diggins, yeah. So we're excited to start this trail on a beautiful morning.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain for the next 4 days, and just off and on. So it sprinkled this morning, but it looks like we're going to be okay. We brought a little bit of rain gear just in case, but the weather is fantastic.
Yes. And I got my Osprey backpack again.
Yay! We got our backpack back. Our backpack back.
I had this part shipped to me because it was broken. My mom accidentally slammed it on the door. So now it's back.
Yeah. We're coming to this cool spot. Looks like all these I think these are manzanita.
Yeah.
All kind of laying over. Looks neat. So there's the view, but we've been having fires.
Can't really see it.
Can't see much, super smoky. We thought actually it would rain more by now, and it would have put out some. But it just sprinkled this morning, which probably made it worse. All right, we found a little clearing. Really cool. I'd like to be able to go down there to the bottom. I wonder if there's
you want to hike down there right now?
No, but it just looks flat and like kind of cool.
Yeah.
Looks like it'd be a cool place to backpack into, like plenty of flat area.
I don't want to eat it.
There's a pond down there, but it looks kind of dirty.
Yeah.
So again, it's a lot of smoke. It'll probably be a lot more beautiful on a clear day. We're probably a mile and a half or so into this trail, and it's been interesting terrain changes. We were a lot of like oaks and manzanitas, a lot of that. Now we just kind of came into a much more foresty area. Really pretty.
Yeah.
Ferns on the ground everywhere. Still some deciduous trees mixed in, but
there's also a lot of scat on the trail.
Oh boy, me and I are expecting. I don't think we would be surprised if we saw an animal of the bear type. I don't know, a lot of scat on this trail with berries in it. I don't know what else eats berries, but we're having a good time.
Yes.
I just checked my Garmin a while ago. It's 51 degrees. So it's awesome. Nice.
So nice.
Nice, nice, nice. No rain yet.
Nope.
A prescribed fire here. And as soon as we said that we would be coming to a campground area, so that's where we just came from. It was more than 3 miles.
Yeah.
According to the phone. I want to just look at this really quick. I think this is a campground area. This is gorgeous. Nobody's here. I wonder if campground's closed. This would be a great place to camp. Pretty. Bear lockers all over the place. Makes sense. Bathrooms. No campfires. That kind of sucks. We understand why, but it still sucks. So we're doing Slaughterhouse and Rim. Me and I are going to use the bathroom, and we expected pit toilets. And we walk in. This is a nice clean bathroom. Beautiful. And we found the trailhead that we were looking for.
So it's in the campground.
If you're doing the Rim Slaughterhouse Trail, you come out into the campground from the rim trail, turn right, and go toward campsite 29. Is that what that was? Okay, we just had the freaky thing. We came into a graveyard that we're probably not supposed to be in, but we're not here to deface it. We're just really curious to see the dates and the times and history in here, but the camera wouldn't start, and then it did some bizarre, weird stuff. It'll give you a little spooky heebie-jeebies. All right, we're gonna look around here. It's pretty cool. So this is on the trail. It's interesting. Yeah. All right, this is where we were, just inside there. Humbug and slash North Bloomfield Cemetery since 1852, because we saw a whole lot of before 1852, right?
At least 1820s.
Yeah, we saw a lot of stuff that was older than that. It was interesting to see there's kind of a sections, or there's actually a lot of recent. The most recent I said was 2019.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other more recents, but then we saw them clear back to early 1800s.
Yep.
And it's just amazing to see the history. So many babies.
So many. It's really sad.
So many kids.
Yeah.
So many, like less than 1 to 3 years old.
Yep.
Pretty common to see a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds.
I think the oldest I saw was like 70.
Yeah, most of them. I mean, the more recent ones, people are living a lot longer.
Yeah.
So it looks like there's actually a church here, an old church here, and I want to see what's this. North Bloomfield. Oh, it's a schoolhouse for only 1 year. $3,000. All right. So we got a schoolhouse and we got a church right next to each other.
I remember we came in here.
Niana came here when she was a kid. Her school came here.
Yeah.
Elementary school class.
We all got to pretend like we were at that age where you had a curtsy and things like that.
And dress like it and all that stuff.
Yep.
They camped. You guys camped here for like 3 days, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that's a interactive area. You know, a lot of manzanita going on out here, and a white picket fence. So I guess this trail takes you through part of the old town, I guess. That's about all there is to it, it looks like. Oh, Ladue Mine. I saw several tombstones that said Ladue on. Memory of Ladue. A hydraulic monster, it says. So again, that's where we were just at, and we walked over here and saw this lookout. Now these are, I think these are the old cabins that belong to the people that were working here. Very dilapidated. Oh, here we go. This screen is missing. 2 stoves. A lot of rat poop. This place is thrashed.
Wow.
So we came out of the back of the cemetery and
God, this is gorgeous.
Church and schoolhouse, and this is the very wide open trail. We did see a couple with a dog walking before we ever got to, it was between the cemetery and the campground. First people we've seen since we've been on the trail today. Nobody at the historical area, no, nothing. Car. Anybody missing your car? Still has a steering wheel? That's about all it's got left in it. Wow, that's crazy. Just came along some more broken down shacks. This might have been sort of more of a barn, looks like.
Yeah.
I don't really want to go in there.
A lot of mosquitoes here.
Might be some critters that made it their home. I don't know.
Some glass on the floor as well. Bottles.
Some garbage. People, man, they make me frustrated. Alright, we just finished the trail. Rim Trail and Slaughterhouse Trail Loop. Supposed to be 5.5 miles, 774 foot gain. It's a loop. How many miles did your Fitbit say?
6.8.
So Nia showed almost a mile more. My Garmin shows 6.3 minus the 4, about 5.9. So again, my Garmin's closer to what All Trail says, but then the Navigate said almost 7 miles, and Nia's is saying almost 7 miles.
Well, so, mine is 7.1, but I started out with 3.3.
So anyway, it was a cool hike.
Yeah, it was different.
We haven't done a hike like that before. It was just different kind of terrain. Kind of grassy in some areas, and then deciduous trees, and evergreen trees.
We only saw 2 people on the whole time.
We did see a car going in, actually, when we were hiking out. What else? Probably almost any age could do that trail. There was a couple of steep inclines, but just take your time and no problem.
Majority is pretty flat.
Mosquitoes were a real problem coming up the road. We took the road coming back out. We could have taken another trail called Diggins Trail, which in hindsight we figured out that's what that was. That would have given us a little bit more view of the dig site and all that stuff, but we just followed the road up to our truck at the Rim Trail trailhead. Campground was cool.
Yeah, it was also really interactive where you got to walk through the old
Boonville.
Yeah. And there was the cemetery, and there's a couple houses, things like that. It was really cool.
So it was cool. We enjoyed it.
Kind of nostalgic for me because I went here like 8 years ago. So I got to see some of the things that we used to do. It's a really pretty place. Overall, I'd give it a 7.1, like my Fitbit says.
Yeah, it's probably a 7. I don't know. There's not a bunch of water features. There's not a lot of great views. It's hiking through the forest most of the time. But it was pleasant. Remind you guys to spend time in nature.
Yes, spend time in nature. Get outside. Do something.
It's a little bit hard to get going sometimes, but you always feel good when you're done.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys on the next hike.